So, good evening. Hello from Liverpool in England. And this is the last of the rough steward training videos for the Zen Peacemaker circles. So now there's like an introduction and there's 5 videos online. And if you watch these, you basically have all the information you'd get from doing like a day long or a weekend like steward training. And if you want more personal training, you can contact me or others in the circle approach online, and we'll speak to you directly. But all the tools are here. So I mean, if you watch these and you go away and work with them, that's perfectly okay. This last video is called the Supreme Meal, and the Supreme Meal is your own life. It's what we all have to offer is ourselves, because from a Zen point of view, there is nothing beyond ourselves in a kind of deeper sense. So what we offer to the world, what we offer to each other is us. We make a meal out of ourselves and offer ourselves. Like Bernie talks about our hands and our heads and our, we experience ourselves gradually as one body. First of all, literally, physically, just within one body, we find the community of myself. And then maybe we feel friends, like close friends, like family. We somehow have a sense that we're not entirely separate from them, that we are, somehow we make up one body, one life, and gradually we expand that. So to the degree that we have a sense of the oneness or the interconnectedness or the kind of the overflowingness of life, we can offer that to each other and to ourselves. So this last video, the Supreme Meal, is basically putting the other ones together, and it's answering the practical question: how do you create a Zen Peacemaker circle? We've gone through the principles of the 3 tenets: not knowing, bearing witness, and loving action. We've looked at council circle as a way of listening and speaking from the heart together in a circle. We've looked at silent meditation and particularly the approach of shikantaza from the Soto school. And we've also looked at consensus decision making. At the heart of how we work together as a Zen Peacemaker circle, we have this idea of informed consent, genuine consent. Revolutionary, really. I mean, it really is revolutionary. But how do you put it all together? And this is the Supreme Meal. The Supreme Meal is you do what you can with whatever you have and do your best with it and offer it from the heart to yourself, to each other, and to the world. And this is the Supreme Meal. So basically, I'm saying you can't go wrong. As long as you try to do something, you are doing something. The famous Zen master Dogen, who was the founder of the Japanese line of the Soto school, he famously was in Japan and in China, and he met one of the cooks from the monastery, who was out shopping for like really nice mushrooms to cook a meal for the monks. And Dogen kind of questioned him, kind of saying, why is someone as wise as you? Because he obviously came across as wise. Why is someone as wise as you out here doing the shopping? Why aren't you back in the monastery, sitting in zazen and meditating and being enlightened? And you can imagine the cook kind of chuckling and kind of like realizing that this young Japanese upstart really hasn't quite got it yet. Because feeding each other, like with love. I mean, the cook was looking for really nice mushrooms to give a really nice meal. It wasn't just like slopping anything together. And to serve each other with love, with what we have and with who we are, is everything. It's. I mean, what more is there in life than celebrating life through offering our life to each other? And that's what a Zen Peacemaker circle really can be: a celebratory offering to each other and to the world. And the way you do it is by doing it. So start with yourself. There's a community in yourself. So there's all the different parts of yourself. If if you're doing this on your own, you've watched these videos, you'd like to create a circle, then be aware that in yourself there's a kind of community. A couple of videos back we were talking about the Prophet Muhammad, because it was the birthday of the Prophet, and one of the sayings of the Prophet that I've been reflecting on this year is that there was the Prophet heard that one of his companions had been staying up all night praying and fasting all day every day. And I don't know, maybe like his wife wasn't too chuffed with having a husband who wasn't really engaging with their life. So anyway, Muhammad heard about this and he called the man to him and said, I've heard this, is it true? And the man said, yes, it is true. And Muhammad said, no, don't do this. He said, fast, but also break the fast, and pray, but also sleep, because your eye has a right over you, and your body has a right over you, and your wife has a right over you. And I think this sense of ourselves as being like we start by saying, what do we need? What do my hands need? What do my eyes need? What does my heart need? And each other. What do my friends need? What do my families need? So start with have a look, if you like, at the ingredients of your life. What's going on around you right now? Okay, you have the idea you'd like to practice Zen or peacemaking or interfaith circles or something like that, and you found this idea and it's interesting, and maybe you've looked at some of Bernie's books or something, but look at the ingredients in your life and say, what can I do? How can this really be used in my life? And maybe the starting point it would be to ask, is this useful? Maybe these ideas that I've passed on to you already might spark something new off in you. So you don't have to create a Zen Peacemaker circle in the way that I'm talking to you. Even if you like to, see what's real, and first of all, feel your situation, see what the ingredients are in the cupboard of your life before you cook the meal. And then if you do want to create a circle, then you could reach out to friends, you could reach out to people of different religions, you could put a notice up on, the first circle I created, I just moved back to Manchester from living in Berlin for a year. And I put a little notice up on the Manchester Buddhist Centre notice board, which is like a Buddhist centre in the Tree Ratna Buddhist community, a beautiful Buddhist centre in the centre of Manchester. Oh, really? And I also put just a brief online note, and immediately people responded to both of these notes, and we just started a circle in my flat in the centre of Manchester city centre, and so just put up notices, put out feelers, and just do it. Say on Sunday the 29th of December we're going to do a Zen Peacemaker circle, or get together with friends who want to do it and decide among you when you want to do the first one, and then just do it. There's no right way, there's no wrong way, there's no correct way. You're welcome to contact us, email us. The email is down at the bottom of this YouTube video, and we can help you if you want. But however you do it, get going and do a circle. And then, what I'd recommend is that you just you begin with a checking in period to say, like to welcome each other and to connect with each other. And then have a period of silent meditation where, again, people could do Zazen, people could do anything. And if people don't know Zazen, that might be a good time to learn it together. Then read something, read a book, read an article from a magazine, watch a video on YouTube, and then hold a council circle with the whole kind of lighting the candle in the middle and making a dedication at the beginning and the end. And then at the end, check out again with a quick circle as checking out. And that's enough, really. That can be a full start for a Zen Peacemaker circle. And then you can work out by consent what you'd like to do. So when you're in the circle, talk, feel, listen to each other, see what you like to do. And and take it from there. Right from the start, try to get into an approach where everyone learns all the tools. So, hold on one second. Hello again. So try right from the start to have an approach of everyone trying everything. So from the first few meetings, everyone try kind of like setting up the zazen or leading the silent meditation and facilitating it. Everyone try facilitating a council circle. Try to avoid right from the start any sense that, you know, anyone is in charge. You know, even if you're the one who's watched the steward training videos or contacted any of us and learned the principles, the steward isn't the kind of like the leader or the teacher of the circle. So if you are steward, you're just there to help bring the circle into being and help kind of like make sure it flows. So right from the beginning, everyone can learn how to facilitate. Everyone can like bring ideas. Everyone can. Anyone could be the next person to, you know, like send down the messages to remind people of the next meeting. Anyone could host it. You know, you could host it in people's houses like we did, or you could hire a nice hall like we did in Leicester. All these things are open to you, and when you start to make big decisions, like you know, we want to study a book for 6 months, or we want to set up a project, then use that as an excuse. If you like, fairly early on, try this. You know, do something so that you can learn the sociocratic voting method. You know, which again is you discuss it, you have an open vote where everyone says what they've chosen, then everyone says why they've chosen that, and then there's an opportunity to change the vote, to have a second vote, because once you've heard the reasons, you might have a different point of view, and you do that as many times as necessary to reach almost consensus. And then if there are people who are still not quite sure, you give them the free choice to either to live with it, to freely consent to it, and if they don't choose that, then you don't make the decision. Leave it to another time or do something else. So yeah, find an opportunity fairly early on to try out the idea of sociocracy and sociocratic voting. And beyond that, just see your circle as part of the world, of the community around you. You know, I remember one of the circles early on in Manchester. We went out and we were picking up litter because we'd done it in the flats of a woman who'd invited us to, who was a member of the circle and invited us to do it in her circle that month. And then we went out picking up litter around that area. So we were physically involved in the community. We went out and did physical practices like Tai Chi and things in parks. And so, I mean, in the Leicester circle, in one of the Leicester circles, there was a woman who was part of the one of the social work teams for vulnerable, for the protection of a vulnerable group, and she would often be like she would be late into the circle because she had to stay outside in the car park talking on the phone, sorting out some kind of urgent crisis before she came in. So we were kind of like connected through her and through other people to kind of like the immediate kind of like life of the community in a very direct way. And that's what a circle can be. It's not a little enclosed kind of like little world where we just have our own little bubble of spirituality. It's a place from which to look out at all the energies of life and to heal what needs to be healed and celebrate what needs to be celebrated. There's one last thing to talk about, which I'm not going to go into depth in this series of videos because not everyone wants it. So we'll do a separate series of videos, or maybe a separate extra long video or something for people who'd like this. But an idea underlying all of Bernie Glassman's work with the Peacemakers, with the Greystone Mandala before that, is based on an idea in Buddhism of what are called the 5 Buddha families, or the 5 Buddha energies. And this is something that developed in like Indian Buddhism and then spread into Tibet and China and Japan. You know, the idea of a mandala, like a sacred circle, and you have like energies or Buddha figures representing energies in like 4 directions and one in the center. And this represents kind of the wholeness of the energies of your life. And there are lots of different ways of thinking about it, but Bernie Glassman, being socially engaged, thought of these energies not in terms of simply inner psychology, like they're often spoken of, but spoke about them in terms of engaging with the world and the world as understood as your own body as well. So we have the energy of spirituality in the sense of like meditation, things to get you into the space of not knowing. We have the energy of study, like watching these videos, like learning how to build a house, like learning counseling or something. There's all kinds of study. The energy of connectivity, so friendship, listening, love, celebration, doing things together, community. The energy of livelihood, so the resources you have in the community, personally, emotionally, financially, physically, um, the work skills we have, the life histories we bring with us, and then finally the energy of action, particularly in the Zen Peacemaker social action, like doing things individually, collectively, setting up projects, volunteering, working, whatever. So these 5 energies, like spirituality, study, connectivity, resources, livelihood, and action. These 5 Buddha energies or 5 Buddha families, and you can, if you'd like, have this in the back of your mind as a kind of like a model of the energies you can include in the circle, and you can discuss them, and you could look them up, or you could just have it present. And I'm going to make another video, or invite someone else to make another video on the idea of the 5 Buddha families, because when we first learned the Zen Peacemaker circle model, there was an idea that if you wanted to, you could have 5 people kind of like volunteering and being kind of elected sociocratically for a year or 2 years to be kind of like the guardian, if you like, the witness of each of these energies in the circle. They were called like the Buddha seat holders. So there was like there was a Buddha seat holder for each of these 5 energies, and then that person's responsibility would be to kind of like find ways of including that energy in the life of the circle, and make sure it was being included. And sometimes you could include that in checking in a council circle, so that people could check in from the as that seat, as that energy, kind of check in from the as the witness of that energy. And that's an idea, and you can take it. And we will make another video, or maybe a small series of videos on the 5 Buddha families, on this idea of Buddha seat holders, because even if you don't use it, it's been there as an idea underneath the circles from the beginning, and I think it's really worth sharing it. So I think that's enough, really. I mean, this has been 6 videos introducing the Zen Peacemaker circles, or sometimes we just call them Peacemaker circles, or in Europe, sometimes they call them Circle Zen groups. And this idea that Bernie Glassman had to find a non-hierarchical, a grassroots, peer decision-making, circular transmission for practicing socially engaged Zen Buddhism and interfaith spirituality, and beyond faith, as Gina Moore calls it. And I hope these have been useful, and if you've got any questions, contact us, and feel free to take anything we've talked about and use it in any way you want to. There's no right way of doing it. These are just kind of starting points. Really, all that matters is the love in your heart. So I'll finish by singing 3 times once again the opening of the ceremony of the Gate of Sweet Nectar, which was Bernie's favorite ceremony, and kind of like the ritual embodies his own approach to the Dharma. So this is for Bernie Glassman. Calling out to hungry hearts everywhere through endless time, you who wander, you who thirst, I offer you this heart of mine. calling out to hungry spirits everywhere through endless time, calling out to hungry hearts, all the lost and the left behind. Gather round and share this meal, your joy and your sorrow, I make it mine. Calling out to hungry hearts, everywhere through endless time. You who wander, you who thirst, I offer you this heart of mine. Calling out to hungry spirits, everywhere through endless time. Calling out to hungry hearts, all the lost and the left behind. Gather round and share this meal, your joy and your sorrow, I make it mine. Calling out to hungry hearts, everywhere through endless time. You who wander, you who thirst, I offer you this heart of mine. Calling out to hungry spirits, everywhere through endless time. Calling out to hungry hearts, all the lost and the left behind. Gather round and share this meal, your joy and your sorrow, I make it mine.